Welcome to another episode of From Framerails to Finish, a collaborative film series between National Fire Radio and Fire and Safety Services of New Jersey, the local Pierce dealer. Today on this episode, Engine Company 8 out of Camden, New Jersey. Hey everybody, welcome back to From Framerails to Finish, a film series about fire apparatus across the state of New Jersey with Fire and Safety Services, who's the Pierce dealer here in New Jersey. And today we find ourselves in Camden, New Jersey. Engine 8, Ladder 2, Rescue 1, Battalion 1. I get to sit down and learn about not just the build, but also the department. And that's really what's most important here today. That's why I get to sit down around the cigar table, which I absolutely love. The character, the department or company patch in the middle. And I'm sure this table has seen a lot of memories and storytelling over the years.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
I love that. So I have Captain William Johnson Jr. And probationary firefighter Ivan Quiles.
Yes, sir.
Nailed it.
You did.
Fellas, thanks for having us. I know we're absolutely disrupting your day, and we appreciate that. But you know what's great? So we've been here for about an hour, 2 hours now. And we're getting the lay of the land, right? We're going to be shooting the truck today and everything else. But for me, I'm a storyteller, right? I think the fire service cap is all about storytelling. You know, training's one thing, going to fires, the experience is all of it. But how guys like Ivan learn is also through storytelling around the cigar table.
Yes, it is. So we always talk about our personal experience, prior jobs, let them know what they may be walking into,
right?
What can happen. Do they listen all the time? No. But they got to find out at some point.
Well, it's young, right? And it's exciting. They're excited, right? They come in the door. You didn't know what to expect when you walked in, right?
Not at all. No, it was like a whole new world coming into this fire department. It was just something that I've never witnessed or had done before. So coming in here, it was literally starting life fresh with a brand new slate and no one knowing who you are.
You also have that baby face, even with that fireman mustache on there. 24 years old. I mean, you know, you stepped into a career that will take care of you if you give yourself to it.
And that's all it's really about. Honestly, is I tell myself every day, if you don't want to do this, why are you doing it? I have a daughter, I have one on the way, and because of them, I am who I am today, and I want to better myself to show them you have life in your own hands.
Yeah.
You control your life.
Yeah.
So why not put it to good use?
I like that. Cap, growing up in town, right? I mean,
Yes.
I was talking with Ivan before. He said he also grew up in the neighborhood, and same with you.
Yes.
Give me a little background about how you found the fire service.
That's a long story, but okay. I grew up out the East Camden section of the city.
Yeah.
High school, my dad was the one that pushed me into taking the civil service test. So police, fire, CO, took all three. Then I went into the Marines, got my scores in. Police called me first because I had a higher score there, didn't really want it. Then I took the fire department and never looked back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a great thing because still get to see family, friends from around here.
Yeah.
You know, go out to calls, maybe their house, like, what are you doing? Like,
Right?
why are we getting called to your house? But it's great. You still get to have fun with the community. They always stop by, mess with us. We'll talk back with them, let them jump in the truck, play around. Then, you know, they'll go back to their normal day.
Yeah. How many years do you have on?
20 in April.
How fast did it go by?
Blink of an eye.
Right?
Yeah, blink of an eye. 5 more years, I'm eligible to retire. So.
Right. You look young, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just turned 40.
Well, I can tell you this. We chatted before, and we had a great conversation. It's something that he said to me that really stood out, right? Talked about coming from here in a sense of pride and ownership of, you know, of the department and, you know, providing firefighting services in the community he grew up in, you know, in the town. You're very proud of that, both of you. And I think that adds, you take on a greater sense of ownership, right? You talked about it before when you're going out on runs, you're seeing family members or people that you grew up with,
Right.
and it's kind of like that back and forth. But you guys truly have a buy-in to the department because it does the very best for your communities, and I think that is so important. And something you said, Ivan, that stood out to me is that you said you were happy you were here at Engine 8.
Yeah, so the reason I said I was happy here is, honestly, to me, Engine 8, Liberty Station, if you want to come here, you're coming here to learn. You're not coming here to play around. You're not coming here to joke around. So when you come here, the first thing you got to think about when you come through those doors, am I going to get right with the guys that I work with? Or am I just going to rear off to the left and stay alone? Well, if you make that right and get right with these guys, there's endless opportunities, endless amount of things you can learn here. And it's literally going to better your firefighter skills, and it's going to better the camaraderie with the guys so that everyone comes back to the station, everyone goes home, and everyone lives their life to the fullest.
Cap, break down Engine 8 for me. Your first due, the type of neighborhood you're running to, construction, how you guys operate. I'd love to get a little understanding of how you guys work.
So with Engine 8, where we respond to mainly a real densely urban area.
Yeah.
As you can see, when you looked out here, it's a lot of unsavory things that happen around here. A lot of vacants with people living in there. So we don't take any call of a dwelling that we go into as vacant.
Right.
We always think there's someone in there.
That's right.
Until we make sure it's not. Most of the construction in this area is all ordinary, besides some of the type 2s were for the warehouses and everything. But being first due on something out here is amazing because behind us we may have Squad 7 or Engine 10, which is going to take some time to get here. So we get to, play a little bit before they get there. But we also know either Ladder 2 or the rescue is right behind us. So we get there and we know we have a little bit of help. So which is amazing because now my Proby gets to actually see what's going on in a fire, and then I can coach them through it. And then have the ladder right behind him saying, "Yo, Cat, what you got up there?" So it's a great thing because even though it's a dangerous job, we still have fun doing it.
You have to. We have to.
Because if you get too wrapped up in, oh, this is dangerous, I'm not going to do this, then what really are you protecting? So once you get in there and you see what you have, oh, it's just room of confidence. All right, we can knock this out.
That's right.
Easy.
Yeah.
Another day.
Yeah.
The engine that we got now, 750 gallons.
Is that different for you guys?
It is. Before we started getting newer rigs, so we had the old Seagraves, which were 500 gallons. So having 750, we can take our time with getting a water supply. There's plenty of water to put out a fire. I mean, the rig is awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Do you pull off the rear typically, or are you cross-lay department?
We're a rear department. From what a prior chief put in the order is to come off with the rear 200.
Right.
Because we got to pull past the house, 3 to 4 houses. But if we need it, depending on where we are, if it's a apartment complex or where we do garden style lays at, if it's right off the road, we'll just use the cross lay. But more than likely, it's coming off the rear.
Right. I have to think coming in, like you're looking, a lot of your setbacks are literally sidewalk width and you're through the front door.
Correct.
Right. So a 200 pull.
So we have to, the 200 pull is great because the way we train, we're at least 3 or 4 houses past the fire building. So when we pull that 200,
got it. We're
only taking in maybe 100 feet into the building, but we're also leaving a bunch of room for the ladder company.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's right behind us.
Is first due responsible for their own water, or is that second due's responsibility?
So the way I train my guys, that hydrant is close enough.
It's yours.
Driver, you get it. But if it's anything more than maybe 100 feet, my backup guy get it.
Got it.
So if my driver can see it, like, oh, that's a pony section, driver, you got it. Back up, pull that second line. Now I was gonna get the first due line. Let's go.
Yeah, I like that. No, that's good. That's good. So the one thing that I love when I travel around is finding those things that are the unique characteristics of each company, right? Something that just is a little bit different. And I see the cigar table and I fell in love with it instantly, right? Because I think about the storytelling that's going to happen with this table for the years past and many years forward. But then there's on the ground underneath it is a shoe shining kit.
Yes.
This beat up red box that's got miles and miles on it. You said it's been here for over 20 years.
Before I got here, yes.
Right. I love it. Give me the background, a little bit of storytelling about it.
So, with the shoe kit that's here, usually people use it because it's an order where we have to polish our boots,
right,
if we have them, or wear the patent leathers. Now, for the guys that shine their boots, they'll smoke a cigar, get out the kit, polish their boots, smoke a cigar, keep going. That's why I was talking to you. But once it runs low, we typically refill it to keep it going and put it right back under the cigar table. So we'll have our foot propped up on it even if we're not using it.
It's so cool. It's so cool. And what I love too is I don't know how many young kids know how to polish boots to begin with.
I'm not sure if they even know how.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Probably. Do you?
I've seen it done, but
I've seen it done, right? I remember. I have memories of it growing up. My father would always put his hand in the shoe, polish them with the brush, right? Rub it. It's just in the smell of it too.
Yeah, it has a certain smell to it. Yeah, so we use it all the time. More than likely today, you'll see someone polishing their boots. I guarantee you will. The guy that actually uses it the most just walked back in.
I love how it just has a spot right underneath the table, like it's always been there, and it just belongs.
And that's where it will stay.
That's it, man. Guys, thank you. Ivan, thank you very much, brother. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me today and taking a few minutes. Cap, thank you as always, man. You guys are awesome. And I think what you're doing here, just from what I've seen for the few hours we've been here today, you guys got something special here. I get to travel all over the country doing this. And there's certain places that stand out. And I just love finding those companies that have tremendous pride in what they do and they own it. And I think you guys certainly do that with Engine 8 and this house.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Yeah, cool. How many years do you have with Camden?
I have 31 years with Camden.
Outstanding. And how many years as chief now?
2 years,
Okay.
almost 2 years. We're coming up on it fast to be 2 years complete.
It is really a diverse city. How big of a city is it?
So we're just shy of 9 square miles. We're about 9 square miles when you really think about it. This is what the department covers. Our department has 6 fire stations that are strategically placed within 9 square miles, but we have 9 companies that operate.
Okay. And it's, I believe, 6 engines, 3 trucks, and a rescue?
Correct. And the 3 trucks, the one truck isn't always staffed. They're like the rescue, and the truck kind of shares duties and shares personnel. And we're looking to hopefully change that at some point in time because, like I said, there's a diversity within what we do.
Sure.
And because the houses are so tightly put together, so packed together, you need that show of force, that resource, that human resource, and that apparatus resource that actually will help put out the fire quickly.
Yeah.
If we can put out the fire as quick as possible, that saves lives, saves property, takes care of all the problems, because any kind of delay will just expand the fire within minutes. A fire grows every 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes.
I think something really interesting that you said, right, is the show of force on the initial alarm. You have a lot of row homes, older construction, some dilapidated neighborhoods where the buildings are in disrepair.
Right.
And so you're talking heavy fire volume on arrival.
On arrival, you're 100% correct. And the thing, and you know what, I get ahead of myself sometimes. The one thing I'm gonna tell you is that most of the firehouses in the city, not the one you left. The one you left was built in 1993.
Right.
The one I work at is the one I'm stationed at is actually built in 1978. But all the rest of them were built in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Talk about character, huh?
Correct. So they're 100 years old without a doubt. But the other thing that people don't really think about is that not only are the firehouses 100 years old, but there's some of the houses that are here that are 100 years old.
Yeah. Who's going to tell the stories when you're gone?
So that's what actually happens. I'm not telling you a story that I got myself. I've got that from all the seasoned senior firemen that actually told me all this stuff. I don't tell it as well as they did because they lived it.
Sure.
But I tell it the way I remember them telling it and informing me of how things were and what they did and how the department used to be and what was going on with the department back in their day. I can tell you those things. I can tell you more effectively and with clarity about what was going on as I was coming through. All the fires that I fought, all the lives that were saved, all the things that actually changed. I can tell you that with a whole lot of clarity.
I worry about the storytelling, and I worry that the younger generation doesn't value the stories, or they don't see the value in it. And that worries me, because we talked about foundation and the ground in which we build. We got to know the stories and we have to pass them on. But I do know that when we can sit around the table in the evening when chores are done and meals done, and we can get a few minutes of downtime to have the companies catch up, that's the time where the stories need to flourish. And we need those senior guys to be able to share those stories.
Share and hear those stories and tell those young guys, because you got guys that have grown up in the city right before they got in the fire department, seen the fire trucks go up and down the road. I was one of them, seeing them go up and down the road. Father came past with the fire truck to the house, check on me, or anything like that. Never knew anything about the fire service until you actually get in the fire service and you get in the department, and then you start understanding that this is a whole business. This is a whole thing. This is what protects the city. And then as I come up to the fire department, you start to understand how things work together.
Yes.
And that's what people don't realize. Everything in the city has a purpose, and it works together with each other.
Do you think you'd ever find yourself in the chief of department position?
I'm gonna tell you, no, I did not. And one of the reasons why it's the one good thing I like about the department, it's competitive. And if it wasn't me, I knew the person that was going to take it. If it wasn't me, the person that had it was going to be intelligent, that was going to be able to do the job the best he could, but was qualified to do it.
There's a lot to be said for that.
And I've got deputy chiefs under me, I've got battalion chiefs under me, and at some point in time, they're going to be the leader.
So today we're continuing the conversation on Engine 8 out of Camden, New Jersey. Scott Estelo is the salesman for Fire and Safety Services. Scott, this is your build. You worked with Camden on this stock build.
Yes. They contacted me, Camden City did, and they needed an engine relatively quick. So we turned to the stock program, which Pierce has about every month they release trucks into the stock program. So, but you have to be ready to go, because they go fast. So they contacted me. I was able to secure a truck for them. And then, yes, they were able to make some changes, because everybody thinks that, with a stock truck that you cannot make some changes. You're not going to make those changes to the cab or the body or the pump, like big components. You're not going to change the engine, transmission, or anything like that. Some smaller components that you can change, you can add shelves, you can add trays, you can add, receptacles, paint color, stuff like that within reason. But we still have to send it back to Pierce to get the blessing that, we're okay, that, we can do that.
Right.
And that's where we ended up with. Now, just to talk a little bit, per se about the stock program, basically it's a truck that's relatively off of our BMP, which stands for Build My Pierce program.
Right.
So with that program, it allows us for an accelerated build time. With the Build My Pierce program, depending on what type of product, if you're out of Florida, if you're out of Wisconsin, there's different, time frames that you can get into.
So what I like about this, right, is so much in this, in the process of building custom fire apparatus, we've gotten to a point in the business today where we're looking at very long lead times, right?
Correct.
And so what happens is a lot of these cities, these urban cities, when you look at Camden, New Jersey, it's a very small, densely populated city, 70,000 plus residents, It is a tough city to be a fireman in, to be a firefighter there. They go to a lot of work. And so when they get the funding,
Yes.
they have opportunity to come upon grants and different forms of funding, they need to act fast.
Correct.
And they don't have 4 years to wait for a build.
Yes, and that makes a challenge because that's why you're kind of limited to what you can do, because they want to once they receive that grant or something like that, they have to spend that money.
Right.
So the only program that you're going to do, and to get that truck in relatively quick, is you're going to put them either into a Build My Pierce or the stock program.
Right.
So they were able to take a look at that stock program, and I sent them some specs, and I sent them drawings probably months in advance, like just kept, here you go, this is what's coming out. You guys can utilize this, if it does fit into your department, maybe this is something that would be able to work for you.
And so in the case of Camden, it's a 2024 Pierce Sabre chassis.
Correct.
Right? Which is coming out of the Florida plant. Couple things with the Sabre chassis. It is similar to the Enforcer.
Yes.
There's a couple less options that are offered on the Sabre. It's more of a stock build, correct?
Correct. With that, it's going to be a medium block engine, which is right now it's the Cummins L9, but we'll be shortly going to the Cummins X10, which is 450 horsepower. You have the industry standard frame rails, which is 10.25-inch frame rails. And then, as far as the cab size and everything like that, it's still the same as the Enforcer cab.
Right.
So there's not, there's not a lot of a big difference, as far as that. Now you can get the 13-inch frame rails on the Sabre platform. You can get the big block engine. They're pretty much almost identical side by side.
Right. Okay. And then when you're looking at a stock build program, the chassis is one thing. And Pierce was putting together this engine. It has 750 gallons of water. It's a 1,500 single-stage pump.
Correct.
The body is built the way it's built. You do have options to upgrade some features, but those priority items, those main ticket items that are must-haves,
Yes.
they're coming in a stock build. And so you have to understand that if that's best for you. So if you need a 1,500 GPM pump and it's coming with a 2,000, it can be accommodated.
Correct.
But you can't go the other way.
Correct.
Yeah.
The other thing too is a lot of people don't understand, Pierce, what they do is they take the option count from all over the United States and try to come up with a truck that's going to work for the whole area.
Right.
It would be nice if they would say, okay, we're going to take a Northeast rig
That's interesting. Yeah.
and, put it in here, because I think that would probably fly off the shelf a lot faster than, this truck here, because you have to look at it, it's all right, it doesn't have a low hose bed, or it doesn't have what they're looking for. But yes, can it work? Yes. And we get a truck in, 6 months instead of versus, close up to, 4 years.
Yeah.
Depending on how much content you have.
Scott, the other thing with the stock program, like the Camden Engine 8, you get what you get for the most part, but you do have some opportunity to add on some features that might or are wants that you need. In Camden's case, they added a front intake.
Yes.
Was that common to be able to do that on a stock program?
Yes, you can add that to the stock program. They chose to put the front inlet in, and they also, like on the sides too, they had hose wells, which was not there also. So
Okay.
you were able to do some small modifications like that. But like I said before, you're not going to be changing the body,
Right.
the pump size, or
That's right.
anything like that, because let's face it, they're long lead times as far as ordering. Pierce doesn't make their own pumps as far as the midship pumps. It's Hale, Wooders, or Darley. So we got to order them well in advance so they make sure that it's there when the truck's hitting the line.
So Scott, in regards to Engine 8 with Camden, we were talking about graphics. Something that is kind of a afterthought in a lot of ways when people are thinking about apparatus. You're thinking about all the mechanical features, the comfort features, all those things, right? How we operate. But then graphics. Graphics represent our first due. It represents our company. It's our tradition and culture.
Yeah.
Talk to me how you guys did that with Camden.
Well, there's two things you can do with the graphics. Some people might think, oh, we can't get graphics installed by the factory or something like that. Yes, you can. Still with the Build My Pierce or the accelerated time frame, is what we do. But it's hard on the committee because you have to know exactly what
Specific.
you want. So we got to kind of draw it on paper and say, this is what you need. I always like, sometimes if it's something like that, it's an accelerated build time, wait till the truck comes in, you got the easel in front of you. Now you can take a look at it and go, well, you know what? Yeah, we can put that there because there's a nice, space for that.
Right.
So Camden City, elected to, have the graphics applied here. So that worked out well because they had some ideas. They could, once they saw the truck in front of them, they started putting some of their touches on that truck, and then it was, sent out the graphics.
I think that's a really good point, right? Especially on the Build Your Peers product, right? Or the stock truck program. You really got to have that all hammered out up front. And there's going to be no deviation.
Correct.
But if you do it after the fact, in fire and safety services, you guys have plenty of relationships, or in-house, you have the ability to letter and apply graphics after the delivery.
Correct.
Which then kind of makes it an easier process, right? Because like you were saying, they can then kind of customize a little bit more, or they want this here or that there. It's easier to see firsthand than on a print.
Yes. I mean, let's take a look at it too. The other thing, where's the most arguing done on a committee? It's
look, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Lights,
Lights and graphics, yeah.
And graphics.
Cosmetic stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the big things that come into
That's
it.
right.
So at least then, if you are going to you may have went to a new color scheme.
Yes.
Okay, you got the color you want, it's there, but now you got to realize, okay, how are we going to letter this? It's something new where, let the truck come in, take a look at it in the station.
Great idea.
And you can take a look at it and say, this is what we can do.
And at Fire and Safety Services, you guys can offer those services after the fact.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Great. Scott Estelo, thank you, brother, for joining me in the studio today on this project. From Framerails to Finish, that's the name of this film series. And it comes from Dave Russell. And it's a great title to exemplify what this film series is all about. We're talking from the beginning, middle to end, right? From conception to build to delivery, and that's what this program is. And I appreciate you joining me for this part of it, where we got to really talk about the details of Camden Engine 8. And thank you for bringing tremendous value today. Appreciate you.
No problem. I enjoyed it. Thank you,
brother. Hey guys, welcome to Camden, New Jersey. I'm here at Engine Company 8. I'm here with two great guys that we've been spending the day together today. Captain Johnson, thank you, brother, for having us today.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And my new friend here, 20 plus years at Ladder 1. He just happened to find his way to Engine 8 today. Yes. Thanks for taking us around and showing us around a little bit.
My pleasure.
Nelson Hidalgo.
That's correct.
Hidalgo.
You got it right.
Nailed it.
Absolutely.
So listen, guys, the reason why I wanted to grab some bumper time with the both of you is really because we had a great conversation in the truck earlier, but we weren't recording. And that conversation was about your tenure with Camden. You guys came through the academy together. 20 plus years?
20 years ago.
20 years ago. A lot has changed in 20 years, I bet.
Plenty has changed
in
20 years.
Absolutely.
Plenty has changed.
Everything.
Has the job changed?
Yes and no. Yes, absolutely. Technology, better equipment,
Younger
firefighters. So yes, fire still burn the same.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's ups and downs.
Cap, you brought up younger. We were talking about generational things earlier, right? The job across the country is trending younger. We have a lot of young guys coming in. We have a lot of guys with seniority and time on the job leaving. That can become dangerous for all of us because we have to be protective of knowledge and experience. People's pedigree matters in this craft.
It does. And like you were saying, the generational gap that we're having, experience, 20 plus years, a lot of, members in this department, 20 or higher, are set to retire soon.
Yeah.
And now you're having these classes with, after our class, only has 8 years on, and then it goes 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, and then like my Proby, 1. So yeah, the experience has to show the newer guys how to do this job and do it safely, while the younger generation wants to incorporate a bunch of technology into it. And now we gotta kind of put it together and make them understand what's going on here.
Guys, thank you so much for having us today. A great firehouse, great city. Between driving around town, looking at all the historical sites and the history and the individual neighborhoods, super important to be able to see that because it really represents who you guys are. The fire department has to represent the community that it responds to. And our day today here in Camden, top shelf, man. So Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Cap, thank you, brother. It's been fantastic. We had a great day here in Camden. So thank you for joining us from Engine Company 8 in Camden, New Jersey. Special thanks to the Chief of Department, Jesse Flax, Captain William Johnson Jr. of Engine Company 8, and the rest of the crew from this incredible firehouse right here in Camden. This film series documents the build, but there's so much more than just custom fire apparatus. It has to do with the culture and the department itself. And today we got a front row seat of that. So I hope you enjoyed the journey with us, and we'll see you next time from Framerails to Finish.